Did you know that being over 40 is your biggest advantage on YouTube right now? If you're 40 and you're watching this video, people always say YouTube is for younger creators, the Gen Zs. And I get where they're coming from. I really do. But I don't fully believe in that because the more I look at what is actually working on YouTube in 2026, the more I realize something important. Some of the strongest advantage on this platform, they are not technical things. They are not about trends. They are from your real life experience. And if you're over 40 right now, you might already have those things a lot of younger creators are still trying to build. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nkechi. And if this is your first time seeing me, you're welcome. When I say you have advantage for being 40 right now, let me break it down into 5 different reasons why I said that. And number 5 is what I believe is the most important. Feel free to use the timestamp if you're so curious. Number 1 is that you're no longer chasing validation. Let's just be real for a second. When you're younger, YouTube can feel like everything depends on views, on subscribers. One video would do well and you feel so happy, but when it flops, you start questioning your identity. And I've seen it happen in my own life before. But something shifts with age, right? So you start caring less about approval, not in carelessness, but in a very peaceful way. You're not trying to impress strangers online. And that is one thing that changes how you create on YouTube. Because right now, you can actually stay very consistent without your emotion fluctuating, going up and down like an algorithm. Let me say this clearly. The emotional stability is a huge advantage because most people on YouTube, they don't fail because they are bad. No, they fail because they can't handle the slow starts. And if you're over 40, you already have survived real life pressure. You have handled criticism, handled disappointments. So a few low views can't break you anymore. And that alone will put you ahead of many creators. And number 2 is that you have real life experience. This one is something that you cannot fake. You can't download it, you can't write it with AI, you can't even shortcut it. You have lived it, you have made decisions in your life, you have good experiences, painful experiences, you have learned lessons, and you have learned things the hard way. And the truth is, that alone is content. People don't want information on YouTube, they want your real stories. I mean, the one behind the scene. They want to hear how you handled things when life was difficult. And I think sometimes we underestimate this because what feels normal to you is actually wisdom to someone else. I remember there was a day I don't often go to trade, and I went to trade to just look around, and I saw a video of a millipede walking inside a kitchen sink. And the person was asking question, how would they get rid of it? Like, how would they get rid of it and stop that from happening in the future? And I just commented, just boil water and fill it into the kitchen sink and you're good. Do that time to time. And I got thousands of comments. I'm like, really? This is a simple thing. I mean, this is just a common sense. But to them, it's not a common sense. So you see, there are things that you think are normal, but to some people, they are wisdom. People watching you may need your exact story to solve their real life problems. And number 3 is that you understand the long game. And this one is silent, is somehow very easy, but it's very powerful. A lot of people don't admit this, including myself in the past, that YouTube is not a quick reach platform. It is not a place you come and upload 1 or 2 videos and then you blow up. It maybe it happened for some people, but it's a rare experience on YouTube. And because you have lived a real life experience, you already understand that life doesn't work that way. you know that real growth takes time. Real trust also takes time, and real results takes time too. So you don't panic when things are not going your way. You don't panic when you see slow growth, maybe few views, few subscribers. You don't assume that things are not working. You just know that it's working, but it's not happening just yet. You have a lot of patience in you to wait for things to work. And that mindset alone is gold on YouTube, because YouTube reward people who stay longer than others. You heard it. Not the fastest one, not the most consistent, because you can be consistent on YouTube and not doing the right thing. And then number four is that you communicate better than you think. Most people, now let me say something here that might surprise you. Most successful people on YouTube, because they are talented, they are successful because people understand them. That's it. And communication is something that life teaches you. Maybe in your work, in your relationship, in raising children at home. So you spent years experiencing things, solving real life problems, talking to people, managing situations. You may not even realize it, but you have been training yourself for this for so long. So when you talk on camera, you already have that depth. So you don't just let it out, you let it out naturally, because when people feel like you are speaking to them, they will stay. And YouTube is really about retention. In real life, we call it connection. Number five, which is the most important one, is that you have purpose, not just passion. A lot of younger creators start with passion, and that's also good. But passion can change, trends can change, motivation comes and it goes. But when you're lived a little longer, you start thinking beyond trends. You start thinking beyond passion. You start thinking about your purpose. And every one of us have our purpose here on earth. Maybe it's to help someone to live their dream, to help someone to get out of situation. Being in your 40s, you're not looking for attention. You're looking for meaning. You want your content to matter to people watching you. You want it to help someone, to heal someone. And that is one thing that people can feel. They may not explain it, but people relate with what you are saying. So, in conclusion, if you've been thinking that you're late for YouTube, I want you to hear this very clearly. You're not late. You're in your season. You already have things that other people are still looking for to develop: your emotional stability, your life experience, experience with raising children, your patience level, communication skills, and most importantly, your purpose. And those things, they don't come from trends. They come from your real life experience. They come from your daily living. So maybe the question isn't, am I too old to start a YouTube channel? Maybe the real question right now is, what can I finally build now that I'm matured, that I can sustain, that can also impact lives? So if you're here and you're watching me, maybe this is a sign for you to restart, or start, or take the ones that you have started already seriously, because your story is not over. It's just getting to that part where it matters even most. I'll see you again in my next video.